we're seeing just a complete deterioration of conditions in Gaza. The reporting out of the Wall Street Journal that I think broke yesterday is extremely upsetting. I think I have that here. Yeah. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Israel is squeezing the rest of Palestinians into 15 square miles. Gaza was already one of the most crowded places on earth because it's an open air prison. Before October 7th, where over 2 million Palestinians were living, but they didn't have any control of their borders, land and sea. Israel controlled them, just kept them caged in the Gaza envelope and controlled their water, their food, continue to do so. Before I get to that Wall Street Journal piece, there's a horrifying piece in CNN highlighting the extreme water insecurity and that they've observed children are drinking out of dirty puddles to stay alive in Gaza at this moment, and polio is spreading. The Wall Street Journal reports, so far this month, the Israeli military has issued at least 9 evacuation orders covering areas it has designated as humanitarian zones, directives that the United Nations estimates have affected 213,000 people. It means Gaza's 2.2 million people are now mainly confined to an area of roughly 15 square miles, smaller than the footprint of Manhattan. Now, I will say, this is still saying there's 2.2 million Gazans with the 40,000 person death toll. There was a letter written by American doctors that used a figure that was closer to 92,000. And we've seen other people claim that it's over 100,000. It's just impossible to know because of the fact that they've killed all the record keepers and there's no institutions, like there's no way to tabulate the death in Gaza right now. And that's the point, right? That's why they don't want this to end in part, because then war crimes investigators go in and will know the true death toll. But it should be extremely scary to people that they're packing the rest of the population into small areas. Put another way, at the start of the year, evacuation orders pushed Palestinians fleeing the war to shelter in areas totaling around 33% of the Strip, according to the United Nations. They are now reduced to just 11% of Gaza, an enclave roughly the size of Philadelphia. The shrinking space for Palestinians to seek refuge is causing heightening fears over the outbreak of disease and worsening living conditions in the small pockets available to shelter. This means there's going to be more disease, more pressure on whatever facilities exist, said Bushra Khalidi, a policy lead at Oxfam, a charity working in the Gaza Strip. I think that the concern, and the Wall Street Journal is not shocked that they didn't speculate on this. I think the concern is that they're concentrating them there to do concentration camps. They already have torture camps where they're raping Palestinian prisoners to death. The Warsaw Ghetto was a very small fraction of the city in which the Nazis concentrated Jews into that area and walled them in, starved them as well. And then that was the precursor to them getting sent to extermination camps. I don't know how you can't see those parallels. Here is an American doctor, director? Doctor. This is a doctor. This is the right clip, right? Yeah. American doctor Feroz Sidwa speaking to a Turkish news station about what he's seeing on the ground in Gaza, or what he has seen. American doctor Feroz Sidwa speaking about what Israeli forces are doing to children in Gaza.
If you can think of something bad that is happening in the world, it's happening in Gaza or to people from Gaza. The things that I saw there that really stood out or really impacted me and made me realize what's actually going on were a few. Number one was the malnutrition and starvation, which is deliberate. That's perfectly obvious. Even American senators are giving speeches saying that it's deliberate. The second thing was the targeting of children with gunfire. That I was not expecting to see. Actually, I knew how many children had been killed. I knew about the massive killing in general, but I just assumed it was all from bombings. But that doesn't explain children getting shot in the head. Oh boy. That doesn't explain children getting shot in the head, and definitely not every day. I mean, literally every day I was there, I saw a child shot in the head. I kept the journal when I was there, and I just went through it because some reporters asked me to. And like quite literally every day I was there, I saw a child shot in the head. That's not an accident. That's deliberate targeting of children for death. That's murder.
The injury patterns I've seen most consistently are things like crush injuries as a result of Israeli airstrikes on homes. Between 60 to 70% of those injured and those who make it to the hospital are actually children. I can tell you that I have seen injuries that indicate deliberate targeting of children and deliberate targeting of civilians. So I've seen things like gunshot wounds to the abdomen.
That's it seems like another medical worker as well. I just hadn't had that written up. But what else can you say? Sniper shots to the head, deliberate killing of children. This is the reality of the situation.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.